Hi everyone, Sneakmaster here with a review of the Anvil Paladin. The Paladin released in 2025 as a medium gunship for offensive and defensive uses. Medium size is relative though. The Paladin is 37.5 meters wide, 53 meters long, and 13.6 meters high. It's smaller than a Constellation or Starlancer series ship, but just a smidgen larger than the Redeemer or Corsair, so it's not a small ship. The Paladin is designed for a crew of up to 4 personnel, but can be flown by a single player. In the front we have a 2-floor bridge. The upper floor is for the pilot and co-pilot, while underneath it is a space for the 2 gunner seats. On the upper floor, the pilot and co-pilot have an excellent view above and to the sides. There are no struts blocking the view, but the cockpit does block the view below you. There are 3 MFDs per seat, 2 main MFDs in front, and a third MFD to the side of each seat. You can activate shutters for extra protection for the cockpit. In the bridge behind the seats is some component access as well. In the upstairs corridor behind the bridge is a ladder leading downstairs to the floor beneath. This ladder can be used if you're in a hurry to get to one of the gunner seats on the floor below, or vice versa. Behind the corridor is the main living section of the ship. In this section you have 2 floors. On the upper floor you have a bathroom, eating area, 2 sleeping quarters, and an engineering room. The bathroom is the only bathroom on the ship, and it's located on the starboard side of the ship. It has a single toilet, sink, and shower. The toilet can be retracted to use the shower. The table and benches are on the port side, just sticking out of a nook in the wall. The benches look like they can hold 2 people each, but I couldn't find a method to move over, so right now it's just 1 person per bench. In the rear of the upper living section you have the 2 sleeping quarters on each side. Each sleeping quarter room has 2 storage lockers for 450k micro-SCU each. There are 2 bunk beds in the back of each room, one on top of each other, plus there are 2 seats on one side and a desk with a chair on the other. In the back of this area is the engineering room. It has various component access points as well as an engineering computer. There isn't much else here. The middle of the living section has a staircase leading down. Thankfully, there is no elevator to deal with. On the bottom floor, this living area has more component access points. There is also cargo storage here for up to 4 SCU. There is a corridor to the lower bridge from here. The corridor has that ladder that leads up. The lower bridge itself has 2 gunner seats. They have a view looking down and to the sides, but blocked looking upwards. The gunners can deploy armored shutters to protect the windshield from attacks. The rear of the lower living quarters has access to the armory. Here we have multiple gun racks for different sizes of weapons or gear. Plus there are suit lockers to put on your undersuits or armor. To the port side of this room is an airlock corridor that has doors that close in front and back. Opening the outer airlock door, you can deploy steps to exit the vehicle. You can fit very small hover bikes in this section, such as the Origin X1, the Nox, or Mirai Pulse bikes, but larger bikes will struggle to fit in here, and you certainly can't fit anything larger than that. In general, the Paladin has basic interiors without any fancy furnishings. The bathroom and bedrooms are quite Spartan, no comfortable walls or flooring, just hard metal. The ship itself has a U-shape to it, where the cockpit and living quarters make up the bottom of the U-shape, while the engines are the legs of the U. The Paladin makes up for basic interior amenities by having amazing equipment instead. First off, the Paladin has a large size 3 shield, industrial grade C, which makes it very durable against attack, and it is much tougher than any equivalent size ships. It also has much more armor and hull strength than equivalently sized ships like the Drake Corsair or Aegis Redeemer. With the heavy shields and armor, it's more like a Constellation ship or Starlancer TAC, but on a smaller size ship. There are 3 size 2 power plants, military grade C, and 2 size 2 coolers, also military grade C. Military grade makes them more resistant to damage at the cost of some energy or cooling ability. Since the Paladin has so many laser weapons, you may want to upgrade them to grade B or A devices so you don't run out of energy or overheat. The Paladin does lose out on speed. It has large engines, but they only give you 175 meters a second in SCM speed and 950 meters a second in nav speed. This makes it slower than equivalent sized ships, even slower than larger ships like the Constellation series. The Paladin is also not super maneuverable. It is less maneuverable than the Corsair or Constellation Andromeda by a little bit. There are VTOL engines on the side though to help in takeoff and landing. The Paladin has a size 2 quantum drive, competition grade C, but it's not the longest range drive or the fastest, so you may want to consider upgrading it later. There is a fuel capacity for 61 SCU of hydrogen fuel and 3.85 SCU of quantum fuel. Less fuel than the Drake Corsair or Constellation Andromeda, but still much more fuel than many heavy fighters. For weapons, the Paladin has 2 remote turrets on the wings with dual size 4 laser repeaters. These 4 guns can be controlled by the pilot in normal flight, or each turret can be controlled individually by gunners in the lower seats. When controlled by the gunners, the turrets can aim backwards, upwards, or downwards, although your view is at a 90-degree angle to what you may be expecting, so it can be a little confusing. When the pilot controls the guns, they will just face forward with some gimbal aiming. There is also the very large remote turret up top with 4 size 5 laser repeaters. This turret is only controllable by the co-pilot. The turret defaults to the upper position, but you can retract it to a lower position to hit targets below you. The turret itself has a 360-degree view around the ship, either on top or below. You may have to retract or deploy the turret above or below the ship to hit targets flying above or below you, though. There are also 6 size 4 missile launchers on the ship, 3 on each wing. By default, they have a mix of size 3 and size 4 missile launchers, but you can change them out for any configuration. You can get missile launchers with 8 size 1 missiles, 4 size 2 missiles, 2 size 3 missiles, or a single size 4 missile in each spot. This makes it versatile against different targets. The Paladin is not a cheap ship or easily available. It runs for $350 on the website in time-limited sales, so you can only get it when combat ships are on sale, such as Invictus, or when Anvil ships go on sale. Currently, the Paladin is still not available to buy in-game yet. The Anvil Paladin defaults to an olive green and gray paint, but you can get other paints for it. There is the black and gray Galahad paint, the blue and black Downstream paint, the gray and red Carmine paint, and the green, beige, and yellow Solaris paint, only for concierge members. There was also the concept-only two-tone gray Shadowfall paint, but it is no longer available to get. The Paladin is a great combat ship. It has a ton of guns that can aim in multiple positions above and below, while having heavy armor and shields. There are a lot of missiles to bombard targets with at longer ranges, which you can vary to handle different targets as needed. It works great either with a single pilot, where the pilot can control the 4 size 4 guns and missiles themselves, or fully crewed with everyone controlling their own weapons. As a gunship, the Paladin excels at taking out ground installations and space station turrets. The large turret can be deployed to hit ground targets while the ship is moving. Smaller targets or small ground vehicles are easily taken down by the Paladin. With the beefy size 3 shield and heavy armor of the Paladin, only the stronger ground or station guns and missiles will threaten the ship while it's hammering them. The Paladin can also be used to take down medium to large ships. The 4 size 5 and 4 size 4 guns work great at taking down enemy shields and hulls on any ships without capital strength shields or armor. Using size 4 missiles will also do a lot of damage against other larger ships. The weapons do work great against fighters as long as you have gunners running the remote turrets, since the turrets can aim in all directions around the ship as long as they're properly gunned. Just keep in mind the Paladin is a little slow, so fighters can often get out of range of your guns. Of course, with all the missiles a Paladin has, if a fighter tries to escape with distance, you can just spam missiles at them instead. You may also want to have a ship with you with a quantum enforcement device along to help keep targets from escaping, since a Paladin is not very fast. You can also use the Paladin for less obvious roles. You could use the Paladin as fleet defense in convoys or patrols. The turrets can aim in multiple directions around the convoy if attackers stop by, and the sheer number of guns can deter some enemies from attacking your fleets. The fuel tanks are also large enough for the Paladin to fly in long-range convoys or patrols. You can use a Paladin in bounty hunting roles by destroying criminal ships, or use it in piracy for disabling and destroying weaker targets. The long ranges it can fly work great in these kinds of missions. The Paladin does have space for 4 SCU of cargo, so you could use it to hold bounty targets in stasis, or use it to loot targets after you disable or destroy them. It can be used for carrying cargo in dangerous space or blockade running, although the slower SCM speed can be an issue in these cases. Exploring locations and looting them also works with the Paladin. Just keep in mind though, you cannot carry large containers, so only 1 or 2 SCU boxes will go through these airlock doors. You could do search and rescue missions of downed pilots in dangerous space, or ground locations. The ship has space to carry passengers in the various chairs or benches on the ship, or you could buy more chairs for your passengers to put in the cargo bay. You can also carry a small hoverbike or 2 in the Paladin to explore ground locations too. Anyone left on the ship can help provide covering fire with the turrets while others go exploring. Finally, you can use a Paladin for ground defense. The ship can fly around landing zones and use the turrets and missiles to keep harassers or griefers from causing problems. Now, one of the main drawbacks of the ship, as mentioned before, is that it is slow compared to other military craft, both in forward speed and in turning. You may need assistance from other ships to catch faster or more agile ships. The other issue is you'll need a crew to fully use the ship properly. The top turret requires a co-pilot to run it, and the side guns can't hit targets behind you or to the sides without someone using them directly. The pilot only has limited use of the side guns, and can't use the upper turret at all. Without a crew, other ships will be able to fly around you and take you down. especially because of point 1. And of course, this ship is a combat ship, so cargo or passenger transport is limited. It doesn't carry much cargo and can't carry large containers. Plus, you can't carry larger ground vehicles. Only the smallest hover bikes will fit. Also, the size 4 missile racks are great, but currently there are no bomb launchers that will fit on them, reducing the amount of damage you could possibly inflict on ground targets. Imagine the Paladin as a bomber? That'll be pretty cool. The last drawback is the size 2 power plants and coolers. The Paladin has 8 energy weapons, plus a size 3 shield, so they all consume a lot of energy and heat. Normally, a vehicle like this would preferably have size 3 power plants and coolers, but with the smaller size 2 devices, you will have to watch out that their ship has enough energy and won't overheat. You could put ballistic guns on the ship instead of laser weapons to reduce heat and energy usage, plus ballistic guns can go through enemy shields to a degree. Besides the drawbacks, as a medium gunship, the Paladin works very well. It can take down targets of all sorts and is tanky enough to put up with serious damage. It has enough fuel to fly long distances and get you home. If you need a serious combat vehicle without much cargo, then the Paladin is the way to go, especially if you have a crew with you. Alright, so that's it for the Anvil Paladin review. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. You can use my referral code if you decide to jump in as Star Citizen, and you get 5,000 extra in-game credits. And you save more if you get one of the starter packs that are on sale. Here's a big thank you to my current patrons, Alana, Brandon, Vashwildheart, and AceHog88. Please check out my Patreon membership to help me make more videos. All patrons or members will have their names listed at the end of my videos and get access to my Discord channel. Patrons can join my Discord and request particular videos for me to make, so feel free to sign up and let me know what you'd like to see next. Okay, catch you all next time.